What's this C9 and fam? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another vlog. As you can see by the title, it's a story time. Yes, a story time of the time I got fired. I've only been fired once in my life, but mind you, I didn't even know I got fired until after. But um, before we get into this vlog, because I know you're gonna want to know what I mean. Before we get into this vlog, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click that like button. You know, click it. Also, comment down below what y'all want to see next on my channel. Don't forget to smash the bell notification so you can get notified every time I post a video. Okay? So, without further ado, let's get into this vlog. Okay, let's start the story time. So, I want to mention that I'm not going to be mentioning the name of the company that I was working at, the workers' names, or nothing like that. And not to mention, I know people that are still working there, so we about our life, right? So, this particular establishment, I was working there for a few months, probably from November, yeah, till now, till until I got fired, yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, I was working there, and I would usually keep to myself, just interact with workers because I have to, because they had to interact with human beings these days because they had to work, right? And I was trying to be a good worker, and what happened is a particular worker stole stuff. It wasn't even one thing, it was stuff. It was a lot of stuff, and it was so much to the point that it would have been noticeable. Not to mention, it was stolen off of my line that I was working on. So if anything was to be found out, that anything was going to go missing, I would have gotten in trouble. So I told myself, okay, I don't need to get in trouble for this. I don't want to lose my job because of this. So I need to say something, right? So I decided I was going to say something. I couldn't tell my supervisor anything because that particular day she left work early. On top of that, I don't have her number, right? Okay, so as I was saying, she stole stuff, right? Like a lot of stuff. So I said that I couldn't tell my supervisor because my supervisor was not there. So my next best thing was to find the manager. When I went to find the manager, he wasn't there either. So I was like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? But I know a particular co-worker that worked there way longer than me, and I know I could trust this person. So I decided to ask them, what I should do and who I can talk to about the situation. So that particular co-worker was like, okay, don't worry about it. I will call the manager because I didn't have the manager number. No, that I have the supervisor number, right? So I was told that they would call the manager and they would talk to the manager about it. Mind you, this is before we went on holidays for Christmas, right? So the next day, the manager came to work, and I was told by the co-worker who I spoke to that they told the manager about it, right? Nothing happened all of that week, and then we went on vacation for Christmas, and then we came back out in January, right? January. So this happened in December. We came back to work in January, right? Okay, so back to work in January, and the first day of work, the manager called a meeting, a general meeting with all of the workers. So he called a meeting, and he was highly annoyed. He started saying that rumors are going around the company that people are stealing, and the person who saw the person stealing is spreading it all over the company, that he had to come back out to work after Christmas to hear from other workers that workers are stealing, which that's not what happened, right? The baby in the background making noise. Anyway, that's not what happened, right? Nobody was talking about anything. Nobody even knew anything. It was just that one co-worker that I spoke to, which is a senior co-worker, that told him about the incident, right? He was ranting and raving about the whole incident, and then he said, in his opinion, the two people, mind you, one person stole, but the two people should get fired. If anybody should get fired, the person who stole stuff should get fired because they stole stuff, and then the person that told, the person that saw and told should get fired because they're accomplice to the stealing. So in my mind, I'm like, how does that make sense? Because like if they said something because someone else is stealing company merchandise, like why should they be fired, right? So anyway, that issue happened the first day of work when I went back out to work, and that's what they said. And they said, that's what the manager said, that the person that stole, in their opinion, should get fired. And the person that saw them stole should get fired too because they're accomplice. And the person didn't come directly to them and tell them that the person stole. Okay, that happened. We moved on from that. He's like, okay, but anyway, I'm investigating it, blah blah blah. Go on to work. So we went on to work. And because the human being that stole the stuff knew that she stole the stuff, and she knew that I saw her, she started to act up. She started to bully me. She started to pick on me. She started to act really ridiculous. Mind you, in the meeting that same day with the manager, he said if anybody needs to talk to him, they can talk to him. If anything is happening within the company that shouldn't be happening, they could come and talk to him. If they have issues with another worker, they could come and talk to him, right? This is the information that was given. Okay, so this human being proceeds to try to bully me, proceeds to try to make my life a living hell while I'm working there. So I decide, you know what? Let's not make this any worse than it needs to be. So I go to the manager and I tell him what's been going on and what's happening and whatever. Not to mention, this particular worker started making a clique in work of people that would try to bully me as well, right? So I told him about it. He called me and the other person in the office and decided to talk to us and told us that we need to know how to work with each other, blah blah blah, whatever. And he never dealt with the situation of how the co-worker was treating me. Okay, not to mention, he said if he hears about the incidents again, he's going to send the two of us home. That's what he said, right? So I told myself, you know what? It doesn't make sense to say anything anymore because he's not doing anything and this person is being ridiculous and nothing is being done. So, okay, cool. So that's what happened. So a few weeks went by, like about 2 weeks went by, and every day for these 2 weeks, this person is constantly trying to bully me, constantly harassing me, constantly doing things that just, right? So it got to the point that one of the days that we were working together, they took sanitizing solution that we use to sanitize like products. They took it and they sprayed it in my head while my back was turned to them. I got so annoyed that I wanted to punch them in the face. I told them I wanted to punch them in the face, but I didn't. So I did go to the manager and I told him about it. I told him about them spraying the sanitizing solution in my head. I told him about everything that was happening for the past few weeks. And he said, okay, give me a week, I'll look into it. So the week passed, the next week came, and still nothing was being done. The person was still being ridiculous. So I was like, okay, cool. Clearly nothing is going to be done about this. At the end of the week, when it was time for us to get paid, because mind you, I am not actually working with this company per se. I am hired by a contract company to work in this company, right? So when we get paid, the actual company does not pay us. The company that hired us, which is a contract company, is what hires us. It was paid us, right? Okay, so come to the end of the week now, when it was payday, the person that hired me from the contract company is the one that has to come pay us. She comes to the location to pay us. And then she tells me, oh, well, the manager, because I'm not going to call his name, the manager said that there's not really any work right now and that we need materials to buy new stuff. We need to buy new materials to make more stuff. So when the materials come in, they will call you back out to work because it doesn't make any sense to have you in work when there's nothing to do. So I said, okay. Even though I find it was a bit fishy, not to mention, right before she said that, she did mention the incident with the other co-worker about the whole bullying situation, but she never mentioned anything about anybody stealing. So I just said, okay, when she said, they'll call me when they need me because they don't really have much work happening because it's right after Christmas, the big bulk of work has been done and blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, even though I find it was very fishy. So anyway, so this happened and I found it was fishy and I went to talk to the co-worker that I told you all I know, the senior worker that I'm close with or whatever. I spoke to that worker and I was like, this is very fishy. And not to mention, my boss mentioned the bullying incident and said that I was the one that was making confusion in work. So I don't understand, like, okay, but If they say that it don't have work, then I understand that because I know that's the way the company works. When they don't have work, their workers stay home for a time until they start back with more work, right? So then I go home, and 2 days later, the same worker that I told you all I talked to comes back to me and tells me that they have new workers, and I'm like, okay. So then I explained the whole situation of what happened and with the meeting and what they said about if one person is getting fired, the other person is getting fired too, and blah 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 blah. And what it boiled down to is basically that I got sent home. I got fired because I said something about a worker stealing stuff. Not to mention I was being bullied for saying something, and I said something about being bullied as well. I said something. I took bullying for like over 2 weeks. Nobody did anything, but yet still I got sent home. So I was like highly annoyed. And even now, like as I told you, the coworker that I spoke to still works there, and they're telling me that the incident went so fast to HR, and that HR was told that I was making bacchanal in the company. Nobody was told about this person stealing. Nobody was told about how many things that this person stole. Nobody was told that this person was bullying me for weeks on end. They were told that I was making bacchanal, and that's why I was fired. So yeah, so that's what happened. That's why I was fired. So sis have no work now, right? Sis don't have no work. None. I'm looking for work though. So if all I want to help, I'm helping her. Alright? But sis have no work now because I was being a good worker and a good person, and I said something when I saw somebody doing something that it wasn't supposed to do. So yeah. So that's the story. That's how I got fired, for telling the truth and being a good worker. So yeah. So that's the end of my story. So yeah, that's the end of my story. So yeah. So lesson learned. Shut him out when you see something happening. Keep to yourself, say nothing. If they want to steal the whole building, let them go with it. Right? Shut him out. Even though I said something because I was trying to not get myself in trouble, I still got myself in trouble for saying something. So oh well. Right? So anyway, let me end this vlog here because that's the end of my story time. Okay? So thanks guys for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so by clicking that big red word that says subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you guys can get notified every time I post a video. Share this video with all your friends. Like it if you like me, if you like us, if you like my shenanigans. Come back here every week for another vlog. Comment down below any comments, questions, concerns, anything else y'all want to see next on my channel. Don't forget, self-love is important. Take care of your mental health and don't forget to smile. So thanks again guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time on the island. Bye bye.